the average to go into high school.
Oh,
So
wow.
it tells you whether you can access.
Oh yeah, did she get it? Did she get into the good
I don't
spot?
know. Tomorrow.
Find out tomorrow.
Tomorrow, the results come in tomorrow.
And then you let you know if you have to like whip her with a belt and be like, "You son of a bitch."
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's it.
we'll see.
Here, Aiden.
That's what they do in math, right?
Yep, that's what we do. We beat our kids, and then the days that we don't beat them, we're like, "Congratulations, you were not beaten."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You earned it.
Actually, I will say when I taught English in Korea, and they do mild corporal punishment, let's call it. So like I was teaching second graders through sixth graders, and it was not uncommon to be like, if someone was misbehaving, you have them go in the front of the class. They go, they kneel down, and then they put their hands up, and they used to put like books on their hands. And it was a way of like, because they're big on shame there. So,
Yeah.
anyways, interesting stuff.
Interesting.
Oh, Vibob's coming in. Sick. This kid's crushing at his company. All right. Today we're going to talk about the 3 P's of enterprise sales, or the 3 P's of closing bigger deals. The 3 P's of closing bigger deals is dealing with projects, personalities, and politics. Okay. So in sales, let's say in classic sales, in like traditional, what you're thinking of when I say the word sales, it's about persuasion. Yo, you should buy this product. It's fucking dope. Wait, tell me more about what you guys are like. Remember, you just said that. That's exactly why you should buy my product. It's persuasion. And a lot of the techniques that we see online in particular are from like high ticket closer companies. All the shit you guys see from Shelby and all the other guys. It's like someone says, I think the price is too high. You say high as it relates to what? That shit. That's for like classic sales where like you need to close an individual who was 100% in charge of the decision, and timing matters more. For bigger boy sales, it's not about the persuasion. It's about making the buying process easy. So if you're buying, let me give a better example of this. Well, I can't think of a good analogy. So I'll just say this. When I want to purchase something, let's pretend you want to purchase something for your business. So you've gotten a cold call from someone and you were like, you know what, that sounds interesting. Okay. So I want to get you the mind of the buyer right now. You go, that's pretty cool. And they're like, sweet, when should we talk next? And you're like, oh, fuck, I wasn't really planning on talking in the first place. Now suddenly I've got a next meeting. And you go, give me a week. I'll go talk to my boss about it. And so you have to now bring it to your, like put the little doc together, or just like have little bullets in your mind of what this thing is, depending on how much it costs. Let's say it's expensive though. It's like a new call recording software that's really fancy and it's like 40 grand. So your boss isn't going to be like, sure, whatever, it's $50 to go do it. So now you're going to go to your boss and you're going to go, hey, I saw this thing. What do you think? And your boss is going to go, I don't know. I'm not sure we need something like that, right? And you're like, fuck, I think we do. So now you go over to marketing because you're like, I got to get my brothers and sisters to be on board so we can all yell at mom and dad and say, we want to buy this. So you go to marketing, you go, hey, what's the deal? Do you like this? And they go, can I see how it works? And you go, sure. So marketing sees how they set up a demo. Marketing sees how it works. Marketing decides, hey, there's a couple things I think we could do with this. This is awesome. So then you go, great. And you bring it to dad, and dad's like, I'm still not quite sure this is really that important. So you then go, fuck, I need more people. So then you go to customer success, and they go, can I see a demo? And then while you're waiting for that demo to happen, the marketing team goes, hey, we actually heard of this other tool. So the marketing team goes and looks at 3 other tools, and they go, wait, now you got to get on a demo with the 3 other tools. And then the customer success manager goes, I don't really like it that much. I don't think we need it. And then you're trying to convince the customer success manager, like, no, it really is going to be really, really, really valuable. And can you watch these demos? And then in the end, we end up getting pricing, and we go, wow, that one's really expensive. This one's not as much, but it's not the one that we want. Okay, let's do another demo. Let's do a trial. Let's do something to make it easier for us to want to buy this. So we do a demo or a trial or whatever. But to do the demo or a trial or whatever, we have to talk to the IT team, because the IT team isn't comfortable with us like having an instance of something tied to our CRM, let's say. So when we talk to the IT team, then goes back to our manager. And then our manager goes, I told you I'm not interested in this. You have to then convince them why it's valuable and say, look, I've got my brothers and sisters and all file it valuable. And your manager goes, fine, that's okay. You can look at it. So you run the trial, you do the test. At the end of the trial, it's not super clear. It's not like we made $1 million. It's just like, it was good. So now you still got customer success going. I'm not sure I really care about it. You got marketing going. I do care about it. But now because of the time that's gone by, marketing team is now like, there's other budget we want to ask for. And so I don't want to ask for money for this when I really want to ask for money for that. So marketing's kind of pulling you out a little bit, but you're like, this is fucking the bee's knees. And so you need to go create another, a way this is going to make sense for your boss. Put your ass in the line a little bit. Like, if we do this, we're going to sell $1 million more. And if we don't, you can fire me, basically, is what you're saying whenever you're buying any software or service, by the way. Anytime you're buying something, you're saying spend money and it will go well. And if it doesn't, you should fire me. That's what any purchase has. That's why people are asking for referrals and case studies and all that. Not because they're like, I want to make sure the company gets ROI. They're like, because if it doesn't work, I look like a fucking idiot, which could get me fired. Okay. So now maybe at this point, you get enough buy-in from your boss and they say yes. Okay. So as a sales rep during that whole process, if I were to talk to this sales rep, I'd be like, what's up with this deal? They'd be like, it went great. Had our first call. He loved it. What's next? We're going to bring it to the marketing team, see if we can get even more buy-in. Amazing. 2 stakeholders, more buy-in. Sounds great. Hey, what's up with that deal? Well, now the customer success team wants, but we're just going to run demo with them. Sweet. And then what? Then we're going to sign up. Wait, customer success said no. Now the marketing. Oh, they're looking at 3 other companies. Oh, now I need a proposal. Oh, now we do a trial. Oh, so that's what happens in real life. Like I'm not even like hyperbolizing or exaggerating. That's just like how it goes. So I need you to know that, because the first P is project management. So if what I want you to be is the Bear Grylls. You know Bear Grylls? Everyone know Bear Grylls? Yeah, come on. Yeah, you do, James. He's the guy who like he's like, oh, I'm going to the British jungle and I'm going to I'm going to eat a slug, mate. And he's that guy. He eats the slugs and does the rope and whatever. His name is fucking Bear. Anyways, so you want to be the Bear Grylls. So when you're in the forest and you're lost, you know what to do. I must go to east because that's where we came from. But as you start to go, you're then like, oh, now there's a river. What do I do? And then you start to have to figure it out in the moment. Maybe I can go that way. Meanwhile, Bear is just going. He already knows what to do. His group, if he had a group of people, is like, they already, like a minute ago, like put up lines and they're zip lining across. What I mean here is you want to be the Bear Grylls to be able to say to the clients, like, hey, what are the next steps? And the client's going to go, we have to go east, or I got to bring this to my boss or marketing or whatever. And you need to be the one to think, okay, when we do that, we might get to a river or a monkey or a tiger or a hot area. And I want to make sure that we're prepared. What I mean here is, hey, you have to go to your boss or go to the market team or whoever. I'm like, all right, no doubt. Listen, when we bring it to your boss, is this aligned with their goals? Not 100%. Okay, well, then what you might want to do is actually get somebody else interested who can be like an ambassador with you when you go and talk to your boss. Great idea. Who could that be? Marketing. Great. Should we have that meeting this week? I'll do it this week. All right. Let me ask you a question, though. If you had marketing and you both in there, do you think your boss would be 100%? No, we probably want customer success. Why don't we do one call, you, me, marketing, customer success, all on the same call so we don't ruin calendars? Sounds great. So now I'm making it really, really easy for this person to coordinate all this stuff, because it's not like at every juncture they have to stop and look and go, which way do I go? Which is what causes them to have your email and just mark it as unread, and be like, I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that. Because I know I got to spend 20 minutes thinking about it, writing Slack messages or whatever. We want to do all this for them. So we're like, all right, cool. I'm going to end this email. I'm going to give the 10 things we got to do. You have to send an invite to, or like, do you have the marketing's calendar in front of you? Don't you guys share calendars? Sweet. Let's get a time in the books for you, me, marketing, CS. You can move it, cancel it if you need to. Don't worry about it on the calendar. When we have that, what's going to be the next thing we do? Bring it to your boss, or probably talk more about like trial or case studies. Those. Great. I'll get all that information ready as well. And then our ultimate plan will be bring this to your boss if it's the right fit. In like that following week, or what makes more sense? Yeah, probably that following week. Okay, cool. I'll put a placeholder on our calendars for that. Great. I'm project managing, or I'm preparing for all of the problems that could go wrong. But Mike, I don't know what problems could come up. Write down a few of the things that have come up for you, and realize that at every juncture, there's going to be a blocker of either lack of interest or alignment, like lack of interest or alignment, lack of budget, or lack of time. I don't care about it. I do care about it, but I can't afford it. I do care about it, but I don't have time for it. I don't care about it, even though I do have budget and time for it. I don't care about it. I don't have budget for it, but I do have time for it. Those are the 3 things. So your issues are going to be either There's another person involved who doesn't care, doesn't have money for it, doesn't have time for it. So you can, in your mind, be preparing those things. So that's the project management portion of it. The actual action of what you're doing based on what I just said, basically, is just the end of the call where I ask my 4 questions. It's just the perfect fit. Sorry, if you didn't buy this or something like this, what would be the reason? If that happened, what would you do? And that's it, actually. Because my next steps are, what is the next step? Assuming that goes well, then what? If this didn't work out, why? If that happened, what would you do? I'm basically going, what is the next step? And they're like, talk to marketing. I go, assuming marketing loves it, what's the next step? Talk to CS. I go, cool. If you guys were to say no, what would be the reason? Our boss doesn't think that we like, or it's not important to my boss. Great. If that happened, what would you do? I'd have the marketing and CS person have my back. Great. We have a plan. Now we're like, I just like package this all up for you. Push back in here, questions in here, clarifying stuff in here. Okay. So the next thing we have here, a little brighter here, get this chain look, I'm 16 out of here. The next thing that we've got here is personalities. Okay. So the more complicated, and I'll go less complicated. More complicated, easy-ish way to remember all of this is DISC. Is like the communication styles, but it is really helpful. Basically, you've got your, forget what they stand for, but you got your direct people, blah, 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 blah. Your Mark Cubans. You got your I's, I like to call them E's, like they're the extroverts. You got your directs, you got your extroverts. You guys know what an extrovert looks like, right? Robin Williams, whatever. Then you've got your team people. Team is the opposite of an extrovert. An extrovert is afraid that you're not going to see them. And so they're like, dude, how was your weekend? What up, what up, what up? Introvert is afraid or team person is afraid you are going to see them. So they're like, nope, I'm just here to evaluate for the team. It's not really about me, or I don't really know what it is. Just want to make sure everybody else is happy. I don't have that information. And then the last one is compliance or nerd or geek. So if somebody could come up with a better framework than DETN for me, that would be fucking great. Jerk, extrovert, scaredy cat, I don't know, geek, I don't know, whatever. Okay. So when you're talking to someone, you'll be able to pick up on this pretty quickly, though. If you just, for the next couple days, even, you just write down, like for me, I literally wrote for like probably a year, maybe less than a year. I'm lying to you guys now, probably like 6 months. I wrote DISC on the top of my papers, like when I was taking notes, so that when I was on a call with them, it was like there, and I'm like, oh, fuck, this person's an I. Got it. Let me kind of talk a little differently. I'll give you guys this. I've given this out a few times. I'll share my screen. This is a call docs. You can print this front and back if you want to print it out. And on the back, I've got this sort of like direct, chatty, friendly compliance. So like direct, extrovert, team, nerd. So it tells you like, how would you build rapport with the direct person is, I'll be brief. They're like, sweet. I like you. With someone who's chatty, oh my God, how was your weekend? Whereas if I said to this guy, oh my God, how was your weekend? He's like, oh God, another fucking stupid salesperson. And if I said to this person, I'll be brief. They're like, oh, okay. Apparently you don't like me. Yesterday I was going to call the guy and I was like, why don't we jump in? He goes, oh, I'll put my tie on. Okay. And I immediately was like, oh, this guy's an I. And I was like, how are you feeling about everything? Let's just make it more relaxed, man. Fuck it. So you can use this. Okay. So when the person's talking, write down the DEXN or whatever you're going to use to see, are they extra? Do they want you to be short? Do they want you to talk about feelings and them? Do they want you to talk about the team and not them? Or do they want you to talk about rules and how you're going to be detail oriented? That's going to help you with the personalities. That said, I'm going to tell you guys something that you absolutely can ask people. Sales reps are afraid to do this, but you can actually ask your prospect, hey, the other person I'm going to talk to internally, what's their deal? What's their personality? What are they going to hate about me? That person, typically the person that you're working with, they're like, they're on your team. Like once you finish the pitch and they're like, yeah, this is cool, I'm going to talk internally. Once that moment happens, you guys are now a group. So stop trying to like persuade them and argue with them and push them. It's like we're in a group project now. And our group project, because we're on the same team, effectively the same company, is to get all the other people to make this to want to buy this. So it's not weird to be like, hey man, before we go into this next meeting, like what's this fucking dude's deal? You would ask a colleague that before you went and had a presentation with your boss if you hadn't met your boss yet. So you would ask your peer, if you will, with the prospect and be like, hey, what's the deal with this next guy? I'm working on a deal right now where the guy's like, I'm trying to sell you to my CEO, CRO, to like be our speaker. And I'm like, what's his deal? And he's like, Ohio State lineman, worked at SAP for the last like 40 years or whatever. I'm like, okay, let me button up my shit. because he's going to be lame, boring, want to know numbers. Whereas the other people, I'm like, here's fucking flashy TikToks I'm managing personalities. And even actually, let me show you. Watch this. Yeah, I'm going to show you guys this, or maybe I won't show because I think this is recorded. So for this guy, I read it today. He hadn't responded to me last Friday. So I go, how's it going, man? Is there somebody else in the company that your boss likes or holds them in high regard? And he was like, yes, his chief of staff. And I go, nice. Could you get them to watch a couple of my videos and then send them an email or get them to send an email back? That's probably going to be like, oh, I love this guy. So you can show your boss that. And he goes, I just sent her a note. What's the idea? I also told her your session would be way more impactful than some other boring presentation because of who the audience is. And then he had some other question. Can you visualize something else? So he did that thing now. So I basically was like, oh, you have to talk to marketing. But instead of knowing who marketing was, I was just like, is there someone here that your boss likes? What kind of holds in high regard? He's like, this chick. I'm like, all right, dope. We'll send her my shit so that she likes my shit. So that when he says, oh, I'm looking at this guy, she can be like, oh, he's fucking dope. Or even better yet, she writes in a little Slack back to you like, oh, that was so good. This guy's really good. You screenshot, you send to your boss. Or you go to your boss and you go, oh, yeah, Sarah looked at it and she loved it. And then your boss goes, ooh, peers love it. Good, I'll do it. I won't, if they end up not buying, I won't tell you guys so you still think I'm perfect, but assume they buy. Okay. All right. So that's project management, and that is personalities, pushback, clarification, stuff in there.
That's
I mean,
pretty much influence map.
Sure. That sounds like a more fancy word. I would call the
That's
influence
what we
map
call-
the net section, the politics.
I was just gonna say, when you manage personalities, you're sitting there like, how many do you, on average, do you think you manage? Like 2 or 3, or
Yeah,
are you worried about like a larger team? I guess it depends on the scale of the company.
No, because they're still ultimately, like, for any decision, there's like 2 or 3 main players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It may be like 60 people, but it's like there's 3 managers, or there's like 12 managers, but like 3 of them have directors. So it kind of ends up coming out to there's 2 or 3. It's like a bell curve. We'll say a bell curve of 6. So the majority of the time it's like 1 to 3, and then here sometimes it's just 1, and sometimes it's 4 or 5 or 6. But it's going to be typically 2 or 3.
That's fair. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And I'm going to reiterate what I said here again with another example, which is to say there was one time I was working with a deal, and we were in person, and we had like 8 people here. We had literally the president of the company. We were selling a marketing tool. President of the company, VP of marketing, president of the company, CMO, a bunch of like operations kind of folks, some consultant. That's kind of it. So when the meeting ended, we were just like, sweet, who are we going to go to? CMO. But what I did, and I always recommend you guys do, is after I have a group meeting, I send a note to the whole group. Here's a recap, whatever. And then I reply to my own email or forward my own email to each of those people individually. And I'll be like, hey, James, like, great meeting. I didn't get a chance to really see your side of it. Do you have 5 for me? Hey, Andre, I'm drafting up a proposal for you guys. I need to get your perspective. Can I grab 5? Hey, Jake, I feel like this part of the presentation wasn't really hitting for you. Like, what questions do you have? Where do you want to double click? Okay. This is all leading, by the way, this is all now in the politics section. In politics, the most important person in the government is the president. Then you got the House Speaker. Now, did you guys all see House of Cards?
Most of it.
Yes. House of Cards, of course. House of Cards. I don't know if it's true or not, but I'll take it at face value. He's like the House Whip is the most important person. I don't even know what that is. I didn't know that was like a thing. I think it's like an informal name maybe. But he's like, that's the most important. So basically the speaker or whatever is like, yo, we got to get all these votes. Go get those votes. Like, go talk to the people, persuade everyone and make it all happen. So really, like, the most powerful person isn't the president who's saying we should fucking make healthcare affordable. It's not the speaker who's like, we should make healthcare affordable. It's the whip who's like, you need to vote in this fucking bill. And if you don't, I'm going to kill your daughter, or whatever he does in the fucking show, you know? But I say that to say that titles don't always denote power in politics. So in the world of that example I was just giving you, I got the CMO, the president, owner of the company, CMO, and all these operations folks consulting. And the most important, after I sent my email to everybody forwarding, going like, yo, do you want to meet? Can I chat with you for a few? I got one response, and it was, of course, from like the guy who was the biggest fucking dick in marketing. He responded. He was at the airport, remember? And I was like, who are the players? And he was like, all that matters is Jim, the consultant. He's like, I'm like, you sure? We have a CMO there. And he's like, no, because the CMO hired the consultant because he doesn't trust a lot of the people in marketing because he's like pretty young guy and he feels like we're really old, and he was really old, and kind of like backwards. And so he's trusting the consultant to like make the best decision for the future of the company. I don't think I even reached out to the consultant because I was like, okay, he doesn't even work here. You know what I mean? Turns out he's the most important guy. So I got in his good side to figure out what does he care about. He had more political power. He was the house whip, if you will, and got us close the deal. So what I say here is in your influence mapping, Alana, to your point, if you have working a really large deal and trying to figure out who's influencing what, this would be not just titles, but power. So I just showed you power in one way, which was the consultant is being trusted for his knowledge. He's the smartest guy in the room. We all know power in the regular way. Their title is the highest. They have the most authority in the room. The other is the consigliere. Everybody has a consigliere. If you don't, everybody know what I'm talking about? Consigliere? Cool. Yeah. Yes. Trey, thank you. Okay, cool. JFK had a consigliere. It was RFK. He was in the house all the time being like, yo, what the fuck do I do? Barack probably had a consigliere. It's probably Michelle. He's like, yo, what the fuck do I do? Michael Scott in The Office has a consigliere. Could be Dwight. Could be, but he also looks more up to Jim. So you can have power also by influence. So you can have power by authority, power by knowledge, or power by influence. And those people can be in different areas of the organization, up, down, left, right. So in the first example, I had the CMO here. The power was actually outside of the org chart down to a consultant because of knowledge. To another one, it would have been maybe the VP of marketing because of their power. In a paper company, Michael Scott in The Office, it would be Michael's my guy, but it's like the person I need to convince is actually Jim. Let's go back to the paper company. If I'm selling to the paper company, but I'm selling like a forklift, it would actually the influence might come from the hell's his name? The guy who works in the warehouse. So because he's like Mike wants to look cool to him. If you guys know like the way the office is set up. If you're selling to a family, think about this, right? If you're selling to a family, Vibob sells to families. It's like dad's in charge. Let's say the dad only works and the wife doesn't work. Oh, dad's in charge and he makes all the money. It's like, yeah, but he might realize, like either he might hold his wife to a higher regard than him. Maybe knowledge, her knowledge is better. Maybe her experience is better, or her influence on him, even though he holds a higher position, if you will. Not in reality, by the way, guys. I'm not saying like men are better because we're like, you know what I mean? But you get what I'm saying. So, and the same thing is true with like the kids or the neighbors. For example, pest control. Pest control, they come to your house and they're like, yo, we work with all your neighbors. At my last house that I bought, I went with the pest control company because I was literally embarrassed. The neighbor, they were like, we work with your neighbors down here. Like, there's a ton of things. You just moved in. Like, you don't even know about the flies yet. I was like, oh, shit. And in my mind, I was like, oh, look, the neighbors are going to judge me because I'm not going to have a pest control guy, or I'm going to use one that I'm going to Google after this now. I'm definitely going to get somebody now. I've realized the issue he's talking about, but now I got to Google it and try to find someone else. I don't want to look weird. So I'm like, I'll go with my influencer was all of my neighbors. So that's the personalities, the politics, and the project management of larger deals. You need to make sure you make it as easy as possible for them to buy by preparing for all the junctures. You need to make it understand all of the personalities and adjust your personality to be able to align with everybody through that process. And you understand the power of politics and where someone sits outside of just the title they have. With that, you can close bigger deals. Thank you guys for your time.
Thanks, Mike.
Good one. See you later.
Thank you.